I'll go to my service. Somebody can put in the message if somebody in queue, ping in the group chat. Because I cannot see every time like who's in queue.
Okay, Ravi.
So suppose any service are failing. Okay, so you go to the service. Okay, suppose currency service are having issues. So if you go to that, open that service, automatically that service will become a red first. Okay, then if you goes to,
It
you
will show
can,
in, it will show in red
in
service.
he. So right now there is no problem. That is the reason. Suppose you take a payment service. Okay, so he has a payment issue. Okay, so definitely there will be a service. Okay, so I'll goes to payment service. Then you can find response time, throughput, failure rate. Definitely, some of the graphs you can understand. Okay,
But in
like
the if you take the top, the failure rate, response time, and throughput. So
aha,
if you click on that, we can see it is auto baseline. So do we configure that baselines, or are they static?
no, we need to. So by default, Dynatrace take if because Dynatrace is developed on AI platform, right? So what happened is there is a two types of threshold. One is automatic baseline and one is custom baseline. Okay. So basically, it is developed on AI. So people and the Dynatrace need 1 week of data to baseline your threshold based on your error, request, throughput, peak transaction, all those things. For that, they need a 1 week of data. After that, automatically baseline will get set up. People use most of the customer. They used to go for default KPIs like response time, 4x error, 5x error, CPU, memory. They used to go most of the times automatic baseline. Okay, after that, once you receive this, you can understand that here you can see there is a failure rate that 0% you have, right? So it will be 5%, 10%. After that, once you goes to that, so incoming call is happening. So you need to understand upstream and downstream. So incoming call is happening from when you do the checkout, then you'll go to the payment page, right? So if you either you can go to the distribution trace it directly from here. Yeah, you go back. UI itself behaving in different way.
But for easy travel, if you see, there are so many services names, but in the front end, it shows only one service. If we go to a front end where we can see the Appdex, this XHR,
Hey, front end is not a service here. That is your application endpoint. If you go to the front end, there is only one because which you have configured it for RAM monitoring. So see, in the one domain, inside that we have a many services, right? So if you go to the analyze section, you can find many things here. You see, view response time hotspot, failure analysis. You want to do multi-dimensional analysis, exception, backtrace, service flow, memory dump, process class. Okay. So basically, whenever you have something services failing, first open this view service flow failure analysis. Analyze backtrace means how many requests are coming, how many requests are failing, those kind of things. You can analyze your outliers. Okay. And then these three things. Okay, so once you open that, it will give you the failure region. If you open that, right, it will give you the if anything is failing in from this service to database, yeah, any outbound calls is happening, any logs is getting, it will give you this error. Okay, so analyze all requests successful. So it will give you the failure region. If you click on that, it will give you the which endpoint, all those things. It will give you the failure region. First thing. Second thing is if you open this, you can find the web request. You see that, right? How many requests are coming, how many requests are getting failed. So where it is getting failed, on the front end to checkout to payment, where is getting failed, you select that. If this, you can find the request. Okay, and then you goes to distributed traces, you can redirect to the same page. Okay, because in the distributed traces you can find all the trace, all the service traces is difficult to filter. That is the reason people used to go from here. Okay, and then
And
you,
this is classic one.
no, this is the classic one also, we have a same, and new UI also have a same.
Okay.
Okay, so you goes to the distributed traces. Okay, and then I will open this. Sorry, I open the same page. So inside this endpoint, there will be many transaction, right? Many distributed. Each transaction captured as a uh, distributed tracer. Each transaction will get captured, right? So now you'll have multiple transaction inside that, right? So you need to check, okay, which is taking higher response time. Yeah, here we'll have some status also, okay, and then you goes to trace. Yeah, goes to details of failure, so you can find in the both way. If you goes to trace, and then you can find if there is any errors, you can find in the error sections. Okay,
Can you open any trace? I have a couple of questions on that. Yes.
hmm
Okay, not here. If you go to distributed tracing and you click on any trace, it gives you a flame chart. In that flame chart, it uses different colors. When it, like, I wanted to understand how it is, how to realize if it's incoming or outgoing request. Any, if you click on any trace, it will give you a flame chart, and if you're lucky, gets the logs or exceptions, it's fine. Otherwise, we just have to look at the, the overall transaction. It
now
tells
tell
you.
me, I am open the trace, where is the flame chart?
Not here, but if I go to the distributed tracing
Huh,
and if I click on any of the,
there's a two types.
yeah, on top of it will show you histogram of the time series. And if you click on any on the side, it will be a, span ID and trace ID. You click on the trace ID, it will
why
open.
why distributed trace? Okay, 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 I'm in different account, that is the reason. Wait, that's what I'm thinking, why data is not coming here sometimes. Are you using classic or new UI?
I prefer the new one because I am a new user, so I try to.
So you see this, right? I have filtered with this distributed traces with service ID and service name. So all the request I can see that. Okay, all the distributed traces I can see that. Now anyone has an error, how you can find? So a status code can be captured. So if I'll remove this and run update this, means across, right? Means across all the service. Leave this.
HTTP is very easy. The challenge comes into the picture when it's not HTTP, and then
No, no.
recording a
So
fail.
see, anything in, suppose anything is failing, right? There will be some status code, and you should know under which endpoint. So endpoint, how you can find? You goes to that service, and then you goes to outliers. Okay, and then outliers, from that you can find, select that, and you can find the web request. So slash endpoint you can find, and that endpoint you need to filter it here. Are you getting my point? Because inside the service there will be 20 endpoints. Am I correct? Which endpoints causing a problem, you don't know. right? So first, what you have to find? You have to find the endpoint. The endpoint I have shown you, right? You can find the endpoint. Like we got this right. From here you went right. So you can find the endpoint, and then you go to resources traces and find the endpoint and select the endpoint, and then you go through that inside. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you. If you can share a screen, I can guide you after this class. Yes, okay. If you want to go for a one-to-one, but however, what you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do is okay.
I just need, yeah. And
So
one,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
So what I'm saying is first inside the service there is a 10 API calls. Maybe get call, post call, put call, delete call, patch, update. Something is happening, correct? So first inside the service you have to find the endpoint, right? So endpoint how you can find? Goes to that service, select the service, so goes to that service, open that service, let them load, goes to analyze and select your outliers and backtrace. You can find the endpoint. Inside this service,
Okay.
this many endpoints are getting called. Are getting my point?
Mm.
Then you that endpoint you search in the distributed traces because inside one service there will be 10 API calls. This service is also calling, that service is also calling, right? It would be difficult for you to find this.
This part I understand, but imagine if a process have 10 or 20 or 30 services, how to figure it out quickly which service is having a problem? Is there any shortcut? Because I
So
don't want to look service by service.
one application process, you might have how many? So you see this. I can find this endpoint, checkout, I can find the place order. This is your endpoint. So now you want to understand. So you can see that, right? Place order. You can find this. And failure region, you can see here. I
I
can
think
find here itself. Failed to charge card, could not charge card, RPC error, remote procedure call error, code unknown destination, credit card info is invalid. This kind of error information you can find in the outliers. Outliers is one of the best way to find the root cause because you will get a complete flow, okay, from application to end user, okay, end service, okay, and you go one by one and you check that if one request got failed, right? You see this, you cannot find in the service also, and but it is coming that why it is not accepting some credit card information is not valid or something, so it is failing. But service level it is not showing the problem because service is not causing a problem. Whichever the entry is filling, that is calling a parameter section is getting the causing a problem. So how I can find? You see that I went to this page, I went to this order, and then I am getting this because of card information is invalid. You see this. So like this you have to do this. You
One
go.
last thing, this
Hmm.
part I will check. How
Hmm.
to figure it out if the problem is with the JVM from the infrastructure part? I go to the server, I go to the, process,
Hmm.
I know the process, and then within the process, I click and it shows me the JVM metrics.
So
How to
goes to,
figure it out if the heap memory is the problem or the garbage collection is the problem? If we just click here and
goes to
then, yeah, with the
go.
segments, I will get to know the application. Under the application, I will have the certain servers. Within this, I will click on one server. I will go to the process,
I'll show you
uh,
that. I'll
and
show you that.
yeah,
So now you go to the infrastructure या operation page या host page. Okay. Then you find the
mm,
process. So I'll goes to here and I can find the process. So on this server, okay, suppose you have this. So take any process. Okay. Okay. Anyone you take. npm. Okay, I'm taking card service process. Okay, because this is a .NET. Wait. Hotel demo add service. Java metrics. Okay, you see this?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a Java matrix. Go here.
Yes.
Okay, there is no data that I can do here. Java matrix data itself is not there. How can I tell you?
Take the one on the top front end or any, because if the CPU is high, probably it has data. No, but
Let's
the
check.
front end might not have. Yeah. Yeah.
The web
But it will not have the Java JVM matrix.
will not have a JVM. I'm looking for
This,
Java
yeah.
process. Let me take technology filter.
But the filter names are not consistent across different applications. Like,
Yeah, correct. Equal to Java. So now okay, I'm taking this. They have a Java matrix. Hope we should have. Oh my God. They don't have data at all.
Expand the filter.
Hmm?
Past 2 hours it is showing.
Somebody is waiting in the queue, I think so.
maybe we can just search any image on the Google that will give us the Java matrix. I just need a brief how to figure it out if there is a problem. I know when application collects does the garbage collection, it's busy. So, and usually if it's quick, fast, so the request will be catered by the application. But if it takes longer to,
Better
uh,
you share your screen after this class and we can discuss, okay?
yeah, okay, no worries, great.
That's fine, right? Hey,
Yeah,
hi everyone.
yes.
Sorry, we are discussing some issues. Okay, class is not yet started, okay? So today we'll talk about, 1 second. Let's talk about today database monitoring. So tell me, to monitor your database, what is the prerequisite on the Dynatrace side? Anyone has idea?
One agent.
Okay,
One
one
agent.
is so one agent on which mode? Tell me. Full stack or infrastructure?
Full stack mode.
Majorly, if you want to go with full visibility, okay, of Dynatrace, you can go with full stack mode. Okay. If you want to have less visibility on the database side, then you can go with the infra mode. But both the mode is supported. Okay, first thing. Then next,
So this agent will be installed on the database itself, or we
data.
install on the
So
application
now,
server and it's fine.
so now database is a two types of database. Anyone is aware of that? One database as a service,
PaaS service and
database
direct database.
as a service. Database as a service means you are creating a database, and you as a client you are connecting the database and you are using the database, right? Just like you can take RDS. Amazon has RDS, right? Which you can connect any database, okay? Create any database like PLSQL. You can create MS SQL, you can create Postgres, you can create MongoDB, you can create Oracle, MS SQL, any MySQL, Aurora, whatever's right, MariaDB, lot of things you can create that, right? And you can use that. That is your database as a service, okay? Like most of the cloud provide database as a service. And some of the use case, you created a VM and then install database. Am I correct? Either you have created a Linux VM, you have Windows VM. On top of that, we have installed database, either MS SQL, yeah, Oracle, yeah, MySQL, something like that. Yeah, MariaDB, something you have installed that, MongoDB, Postgres, anything you have done that, right? So there's the two types of database. Database as a service and database running on server. Correct?
So then,
One
what is
second.
PaaS?
Running on server. PaaS is a platform as a service.
So even there you have database, right?
Which platform?
Any cloud, Azure.
So right. So that is not a platform as a service. They are giving you the platform, okay, PaaS, okay, but however you are creating a database, right? So that database will comes as a database as a service, right? You are creating as a service, right? You are going with the EKS cluster. EKS cluster, you are creating the cluster as a service. You are not creating. You have created a VM on top of that. You have created a Kubernetes cluster. You have installed a lot of component, and becomes as a Kubernetes cluster, right? That also can be feasible, okay. But however, lot of things you have to manage, right? That is the reason people used to prefer database as a service, yeah, any cluster as a service. Yeah, if you are using on-prem data center, which is your own, or which is your company has a on-prem data center, right? There you might have seen that database running on the server, right? You log into the server and then you connect to the database, right? Into some credentials. Okay. So there are two types. One is database as a service. One is database running on server. Okay. First thing, one prerequisite, one agent. If database running on server, then one agent has to be installed as a full stack mode. Okay. And then you required environment active gate to deploy the extension. Deploy the extension. So we'll be doing both database on server and database as a service. One database will take. Okay. So deploy, you need to deploy the extension. To deploy the extension, you can use environment active gate, but some of the database you can use one agent also. Okay. Like MS SQL support one agent as well as environment active gate. But most of the use case we used to prefer as a recommended approach is you go extension, you deploy on the environment active gate. Because you deploy extension, example, an extension has a script, right? You wrote some YAML file in that has a database query, you deploy that extension, all those things. If one agent goes down because of this plugin, then entire monitoring becomes unavailable. Like your infrastructure also gone, right? That is the reason best approach is you deploy, you deploy the extension on environment active gate. Is that clear? First thing, okay. Any questions until here? Rupesh, others?
But when we
Repeat once
say that
again.
if we are running it on the application server, one agent, and any traffic that goes out of the application, if it goes to the database, it can easily state the transactions as well as it knows, which query is going, how much, what is the
Yeah,
query time and all that.
everything you can get it. Whatever the database application makes a call to database, everything will get captured. Okay. So
Um,
whatever
Ravi, just to add to that previous question. So this is like from the query perspective, this is taking, but what more we are getting by installing an extension? So is it going to do a additional metrics in terms of
yeah
database
m-
health and
yeah
space, logs, all these things?
many more than based on the database, you will get more than suppose you when you deploy the extension, right, and then you use the database monitoring, at least you'll get 50 KPIs extra, 50 to 100 on the database side, because now you are going inside the database and you are fetching a lot of like blocking session, lot of KPIs you are getting that. Okay, first thing. On top of that, sometimes database team they want to, hey, I want to monitor this query, then query performance, like if this query take more than a minute, right, I need alert. If this query I want to monitor, they'll give you that, hey, this in this, suppose you have multiple database, right, like Oracle or something, they have a list of KPIs, the Dynatrace, when you deploy the default extension, right, so they will give you 20 30 KPIs. Now on top of that, database team they used to say, hey, I want to monitor this KPIs. Then you check in Dynatrace, hey, this KPI is not available. In that case, you have to develop your custom KPIs, custom monitoring. Okay, so that will talk about how you can develop your custom monitoring. Like suppose how many orders have been failed. Suppose in database will in database table, right, will come that, right. This many order has been failed. Correct. You need to monitor that. If failed order count is more than 20, I need alert. Right, so like that you can, so you there will be multiple query, they'll give you that, and they'll tell you that, hey, I wanted to monitor this. Okay, so you will be doing that. Now coming to that, to monitor your any database, tell me what kind of credentials are needed. So basically, when you are monitoring the database, you need to inform to the database team, hey, to monitor this database I need a service account. Service account. So they will create inside the database, they'll create a service account, and that side has only read permission, a role, and so that you can just fetch the information, okay, and then send to the Dynatrace, right? For that, they need a service account. So that service account will be created by database team. They'll give you that username and password, okay? Ensure that that password should never expire. If getting expired, ensure that you have some rotation mechanism. Ensure that that service account should not have MFA. Definitely any service account will not have MFA. So ensure that those kind of things should get considered, and then you go for a database monitoring. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm going to my cloud. I'm creating a two server. One is, so I'm doing for Postgres, and database as a service will be doing as a MS SQL. Okay, which is your Postgres. Imagine Linux. Number of instance I need a 2. Why? Because I need ActiveGate also. I will take 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB of RAM, key pair, bind plane, create a security group, select this. Okay, number of instance 2. Okay.
Ravi, one question here. Why we need to get the full stack monitoring for database? Because the DB size, the RAM size of a DB will be very, very high, and the license consumption will be very high, right?
Yeah. See, Dynatrace recommendation is, if you want to go, you need more visibility on database, then you go with full stack mode. The Dynatrace recommendation. Even you can go with the infrastructure mode, and you can try with that. Okay.
So what additional parameters we get when we go with infra or full stack, but in DB at DB side?
What parameter? I
We
didn't.
can what additional parameters we can see if we go with the full stack, and what we miss if we go with infra?
If so, if you see this database database monitoring with infra mode, yeah, full stack mode.
Even our environments, we are using only on application servers because of the.
So for database monitoring, install the one agent database host in infrastructure monitoring mode for lightweight captured, okay, and one agent on the application as a full stack mode. You can go with that, but I have seen if you want more visibility on the database side, then you should go with full stack mode. I'll show you some documentation.
Can you not show it? What difference will it make in the class?
Yeah, 1 second.
With, having only infra agent installed.
Because I'm taking Postgres. Okay, let's try both the way, okay, so that we can understand. Basically, when your application is calling to the database, right, and when you have a full stack mode enabled, which user, when user is getting called, what I'm seeing, what I'm understanding is when user is getting called and user is doing some transaction, and then that backend, the database getting called, that uh, connection user call to the database, that connection you'll get more visibility on when you have a full stack mode. That I can gauge it. Apart from that, KPI side, they have not mentioned anywhere like you should go with the infrastructure mode, yeah, you should go with the full stack mode. But there is a examination question for get more visibility on the Dynatrace on the UI. What kind of agent mode you can go on the database server? Answer is full stack mode. Okay. So now I have created a 2 VM. So let me,
Sir, I missed the what you just said. I missed it. 1 minute.
what I said is, suppose whenever that any users is called doing some transaction, right? And that calls to
Okay.
the database, okay? That details, when you have a full stack mode, easily you can get this details, okay? Other, if you are going with the infrastructure mode, then service visibility will not have, okay? Because service will not get visible, right? So it will be
Okay.
less
Got it.
KPIs. So you
But
see
then,
hyphen user.
sir, you said there are two types of SQL, sorry, database services. You said one is database as service, the other one is on the virtual machine installing.
Database running on server. Okay. So currently I'm doing database running on server. Okay. So if
server,
you,
right?
okay, so
So,
if you
sir,
see, if you see
on the
here,
server you have an operating system. So you would install an agent
uh,
on that.
on the operating system we have, so they had server, which is your operating system, okay, and you install the agent, you install the database, and then you do database by default. So here if you
Correct.
create this, well, create a
But
database.
in database as service, what will happen, sir?
What will happen is just you select the database and create the database. Are you getting my point? Suppose I want to create a MS SQL. What information? What is the database name, credential, where you want to store the credential, those information, what is the size of database, and you go and you create this to see. If I'm going to
Okay.
database as a service, what option they are asking? I'm going to easy to, okay, database name, user ID, username, self-managed, then password, and database should connect to any application server, then yes, then you can select that and you can create a database. That's it. Then you have a database client. With the help of database client, you connect to the database. Okay, that is your database as a service. You have not selected what kind of VM is. You have not selected like what kind of backend OS should be, Windows or Linux. Okay, nothing. Just you have created a. So the backend means server you are not managing. Just you are creating a database. But when I am doing here, all the things, end-to-end responsibilities are on our side. Okay, because we have installed database on the server. Okay, so that is the reason there is a two types. Okay, database running on server, one database running as a service. Okay, in that clear?
Right, sir. So now
Okay.
what we did is
Currently,
database as a service.
first use case is database on server. Then second use case will be doing database on database as a service. Okay. So
Sir,
this is my.
you just said, sir, sorry to interrupt. You just said that we have not selected any OS, correct?
Hey, I am doing right now database running on server. Okay. So for that, I have created a EC2 instance.
Okay.
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 So
Liberated. Sorry.
I am doing a first use case. Okay. Database running
Okay,
on
sir. Okay.
server. This use case.
Got it. Got it.
After that, we'll
Yeah.
use this use case. Okay.
Okay, sir. I think I missed the in between.
Okay. So now I have updated. Let me install. Okay. Let me minimize this. Otherwise, you will say in video 50% are getting hidden. Let me. Okay. Now I'm installing Postgres. So this is the command to install Postgres. Okay. Oh, done. Now I'll initialize the DB. So this is the command to initialize the DB. So DB got initialized. I need to enable the Postgres. Now I need to start the Postgres. Check the status. So my Postgres database is running now. Okay. So this is the command to do the database. Okay. Installation. Now what I have to do is I have to modify some configuration file. So this is the command where I need to modify the configuration file. Okay. And I have to add one statement, means from where you want to connect, right? So listener, I'm giving stars. Okay. Go anywhere. Insert and add this line. Oh, sorry. Add this line, escape colon WQ exclamation mark. Hope my screen is visible, right? Yeah, zoom it. Hey, what is happening?
It is very small, sir. So
Yeah, I'm trying to increase the font size here. Hey, yaar.
ഭയങ്കര ചൂടാണല്ലോ ചൂടോടെ ചൂട്
What is happening?
ഭയങ്കര ചൂടാണ് വെളിയിൽ നിന്ന് இந்த வீடு எப்படி கூலா இருக்கா உள்ளுக்கு? ஏசி இருந்தா ஓகே. ஏசி இதுல வராதேனா வண்டி. இது ரொம்ப சின்னது இது. இல்லையா?
Is that
எந்த
fine?
வண்டியுமே
அவ்வளவுதான் அங்க வரைக்கும் எடுத்து வந்திருக்கேன்.
ஆமா போகாது உள்ள.
ஷூரா?
எப்படி போகும்? வாய்ப்பே.
ட்ரை பண்ணுவோம்.
ட்ரை எல்லாம்
Yeah.
ஹவுஸ் இன்சூரன்ஸ் எல்லா இன்சூரன்ஸும் இருக்காப்பா.
Guys, can you go for a mute?
ஹவுஸ் இன்சூரன்ஸ், வெஹிக்கிள் இன்சூரன்ஸ் எல்லாம்.
Sir, they're giving information about insurance. You can take that also. You can take that also.
Hey, what is happening here?
Thank you so much for the coffee. I like the coffee. Very good. I wish I asked more.
One for me also.
One you send
Please,
here
sir.
also.
Yeah.
Okay.
For all of us in the training.
Now I'm adding this file. Okay. Inside this is a database configuration file. Okay.
பேசாம
Guys,
இங்க போடுங்களா?
guys, can you go for a mute? Who is speaking?
வாங்க வாங்க நம்ம போய்டும் தானே டெம்பரரி தான்.
Susil. Okay. I'll add this, but I need to add few more lines because I have given the cited range. Right. So what I can do is I need localhost also. Ha ha ha. I think this would be sufficient. This would be sufficient. You might require localhost something. That's what I'm thinking. I need this line also. Insert. I need this line also. Now I have to restart the Postgres. Okay, check the status. So running. So I have added this and added this, right? One is VPC and one is host. Okay. So this many lines we have added under this configuration file. Okay. And then we have restarted. Till here any dot? Restart your Postgres service. Okay. So you can use this command. And here type restart. Next. Once this is done, your database Installation is done. Now you need to create a database. So I will connect to database now. So this is the command to connect your database. So you see, it got connected. Now, what I will do is I'll create a database, ingest some data. Run this command first. Last see retail tables. No, doesn't exist. Okay. Uh, hmm. Invalid. Control C. Now you are connected to retail DB server. Okay. So I ran this command. Basically, you can remove this retail DB and then you can run this. Remove this and then you run this. You'll create a database and then you type /c retail DB. It will connect to your database. So now it got connected. Now, once your retail DB is connected, let's ingest some data. I'm creating a table which is order. Okay, it got created. You can run this and you can validate. So you see, succeed 100, fail 2000, 1000 row. Now you can exit. So exit means /q. So I got exited. Now I am trying because I have created database, right, which has Dynatrace user also. You see that user Dynatrace service account also I have created and password Dynatrace@123. So I'm trying to log in with the service account now. So you see this. Actually, this steps, right, it is not done by any of you guys. Okay, it will be done by database team. Database by default installation or something, right? It's not your responsibility. But you should be knowing if you are doing some kind of POC as architect or something. So you see, I'm logging the database. So I'm login. So password is Dynatrace@123. You see that, right? Password I have mentioned somewhere. Dynatrace@123. So I have logged in. Run some commands. Query basically. Select count HR from orders. Status. Group by status. So I'm getting this. So now same thing which I developed from the root user. Now I am able to fetch from the service account also. Means my database setup is done. Okay. Now I can exit. So /q. So I came out from the database. Now, so tell me what I have to install now. I have to install Dynatrace 1 agent. So we are in which account? Okay. So just you go deploy just you go infrastructure and operation page. Add coverage, add host, Linux 86. Next, I'm going with the full stack. Later on, we'll change to full stack to infrastructure, and then we'll see what the differences we have. Okay. Go next. So generate a token. Copy this. Go here. Paste it. Who is ordering coffee? Someone is telling in the group, right?
Looks like Sushila heard some coffee.
Hey, Sushil. Sushil joined today only. Yesterday only he
Yeah,
joined.
hi Ravi. Yeah,
You are offering coffee, huh?
coffee. No, I said sorry for the inconvenience. I said sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah, no problem. You guys can come to my house and have some coffee anytime.
For that, thousands of dollars we have to invest here. We have to
It will
apply
be
for a
actually it will be a costly coffee then.
It will be huge costly, not coffee costly.
Yeah,
So you are staying where? Montreal, Vancouver, where?
I'm in Ontario itself. Yeah,
Montreal, huh?
yeah.
So I'm installing one agent. I have a few references in
Here,
Canada.
Ravi.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we are doing this one agent installation manually, right? But if you go to any organization, they
Hey,
use it.
we'll be using your Ansible. Wait for some time.
Okay.
Why one agent is not getting installed in one shot always?
Ravi, can you help us identify like what are the logs that will refer to like if any application component or database is detected by a Dynatrace agent?
Application logs.
Yeah, agent logs, like where we can find any application component or infrastructure component is detected by agent so that it started monitoring.
I can show you the configuration where log monitoring is enabled in Dynatrace, and all the logs, means log where is getting stored. Okay, agent logs. So now you can see that. I'll come to that point. Okay. So now you can see that, right? Agent is installed. Okay. Now, if you check this system CTL status, one agent dot service. So it is running. Okay. Now let's install environment ActiveGate. So if I'll refresh it, you can able to find it will come. So meanwhile, we'll goes to deployment status.
So this one agent is directly connected to Dynatrace tenant, right?
One agent is connected. It will let UI in the data will come. Okay, now you see that, right? One agent came. Okay, it is getting installed. Now got installed. Now I'm installing ActiveGate. So ActiveGate, Linux, general, next.
Sir, this will be same even for managed environment as well as
Yes,
SaaS.
yes.
So to monitor database, we will need ActiveGate, environment ActiveGate,
Yes, you're right. So
and
now
also cluster ActiveGate as well.
cluster ActiveGate when you are doing the ingesting the data via external traffic. Because you are inside the
Okay.
network, right? And your data is coming from outside the network, then you require a cluster ActiveGate. Very rare use case like you want to use like mobile app RAM monitoring. Mobile app where should get deployed in the Play Store, yeah, App Store, right? In Android Store, what you used to call Play Store, yeah, App Store, right? Now you are doing, yeah, sometimes you are doing some external like one agentless application, right? Where you want to enable the RAM monitoring, it is got deployed in the external traffic, external, right? Then you are coming to your network. Then those kind of scenario you will required in cluster ActiveGate. Okay. So what I was
Real user monitoring, synthetic monitoring will come from via the cluster ActiveGate, is it?
yeah, you missed that point. You watch the video better. I think it will be difficult. I'll explain you again half an hour. It will take time. See, there is a two types. Okay, one is internal, one is external. If you are deploying managed, means you are within the network. Correct. You are not going outside the network. Okay. You point in that way. You see that if you are in using manage when you will use when data you should not get routed to external, right? You don't want to send the traffic to external network data. Okay. So when you are this is your network. Okay. Everything you are playing here. Correct. This is your company network which you are creating VPN, whatever thing, Cisco, anything you are installing, right? And that is your network boundary. So this is your network boundary. I don't want to send this data outside. Now suppose you have a mobile app you want to monitor. Mobile app tell me where I should get deployed. Like take HDFC Bank app. Access ICICI using Dynatrace. Okay. Now ICICI Bank app, where is getting deployed? In the public network or private network? Tell me, Kumar. Public network, right? Because you are
Yes.
installing you are installing from the Play Store, App Store, right? So it is public network. Now this here you are doing the transaction, sending the money, receiving the money. You are doing the transaction in this app from this app. This is the external world. Now you want to fetch this information to inside the network. What you need? Cluster ActiveGate. So any application, any application which is outside the network, and you want to bring it back to Dynatrace, when you are using manage, you have to use cluster ActiveGate. Is that clear? Either
Yes, sir.
synthetic, one agent, mobile app, anything. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So now I am installing ActiveGate. So SSH public IP EG2 username EC2 hyphen user advanced setting bind plane. Okay, sudo space su. Now yum update hyphen y where we have this is for which one here? ActiveGate, right? Just we have to install ActiveGate, that's it. Sumia, I hope you are able to understand, right?
Yeah, Ravi. Yeah, I'm just getting glimpse. No problem.
No problem, right? I don't hear your voice. That is the reason I asked.
Yeah, yeah. Being the first day, some work is also going on nearby, so it's very noisy. That's why.
Okay, that's fine.
Active gate will happen install on another server on the same network.
You're asking something?
Saying that cluster, sorry, active gate will have to install the same network on another server.
I didn't get you what you are trying to say. You speak bit louder. If somebody understood his question, then tell me. Ask me.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm asking that that active gate which you have installed, where exactly will have to install? Is it in a separate server within the same network or
Separate server, dedicated server.
dedicated? So we'll have to ask that the application team, we need a separate server to install an active gate to monitor
Active. So
something.
listen, when you are deploying Dynatrace, right? So definitely architect will design some. That is the reason they used to prepare high level and low level diagram, low level document, design document, right? Why? Because active gate is whose component? Your component, yeah, application team component. Tell me, your component, right? Because the observability product, correct? Component. So it should get deployed in your uh, standard. In the standard means under your VPC, and then you can do some data routing or traffic, like you can add inbound rule, their IP address, all those things, because observability have their own setup, VPC, own account, everything, right? And from that account to any account. So see, any you might have seen, right? If you are using AWS example, how many accounts you have seen? Tell me, how many accounts? Every application team, they have their own AWS account, correct? Might be 20, 30, 40, 50. I have seen 500 accounts. If you want, I can show you right away also. Okay. 500 accounts customers are using. So there is a one parent account. So for every application, they have one AWS account. I'm using, and for that, when you AWS account, then definitely they'll have own VPC, everything, right? So from that account, from that server, it's coming from the root OU. So what will happen is just you have to add inbound rule, so the data traffic will happen. That's it. Okay. So that ActiveGate is your component. You should install in your convenience. Okay. Not like in the application, because when you deploy in the application team in their account, you will not have access. So it's difficult for you. If some other application team, again, you want to deploy something on this server, again you need dependency on the application team. Every time you cannot reach out to the same application team, right? So that is the reason. Yeah, you have 100 of application, you cannot deploy 100 of ActiveGate, right? That is the reason we used to deploy in our network, our VPC ActiveGate. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so now installation is done. This is the just verification steps, so I'm not doing that. Just install it. In this group, anyone is staying in Bangalore? No one?
Ravi, I'm staying here.
Name?
I'm in
Sayakil.
Okay, okay. You are staying in the Whitefield site, right?
Yeah.
I'm planning to visit Hyderabad. Let's see when it will come.
Yeah, Ravi. Actually, next month we are planning to shift to Hyderabad.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
When Ravi,
I'm planning, and from past 6 months, I'm planning. So I'm thinking I'll go for one weekend, and Friday I'll go, Saturday I'll stay, and Sunday I'll back. I've never been to Hyderabad, so I thought one time I should visit. There's many students. We can do some gathering
correct.
in the restaurant bar somewhere. Which area is good?
Yeah, there's a lot of places, Ravi.
Hmm?
Patek City, Madhapur. So many places are there in Hyderabad. It's a good place, actually.
And when
Just let me know. Let me know once if you go.
sure.
Yeah. Or else from Bangalore, if you go, let me know. We'll go.
If I'll reach Hyderabad, right? If I'll put a status and I reached Hyderabad, so at least more than 100, 200 people will come.
Okay.
So now active gate takes time, 5 minutes. Not yet. Now Dynatrace, what is happening? The day by day features are they're getting increased. Okay. And it is very difficult to complete the session in 30, 35 hours. It is going 40 hours also. If I'll go right, you'll say, Ravi, these are the topics are left. That's what I'm thinking. Just have like a separate session for 1 day or 2 day for only for LLM monitoring, AI and LLM. So now ActiveGate is installed. So if you refresh it, so my ActiveGate, right? So you see all the modules, okay? Extension modules are enabled. Now where I should go? I should go to Hub. Type here, select all, and type here Postgres. So this is your extension, okay? This extension, right, it will get installed only on ActiveGate. Only MS SQL can be installed on one agent server as well, which is local, but they have option for ActiveGate also. But most of the database ActiveGate only. So best recommendation is use ActiveGate.
Ravi, can we see the full stack monitoring difference between full stack and infra
Yeah.
first?
So no, first I'll enable the database setup done. Then I will change the mode full stack to infra. Okay, and then we'll see what kind of difference we have. Okay. So I'm installing the extension. Because database monitoring, right? You need a patience. Installing extension will take time. Configuring a database will take time. Enabling a custom plugin, custom custom query monitoring will take time. So you see, this will default one. Select this. Go next. Add database host. What is my database host? I'll goes to here. Instance. Uh, This is my database. So I'll take this private IP. Where it went here. Okay, 5432 port should have open. In the security group, inbound rule is already open. What is the database name? I have created database as a retail DB. Remember? Retail DB. You see this? Retail DB. Okay. Retail DB. What is the username? I have created a username Dynatrace and password is Dynatrace@123. Correct? You see this. User Dynatrace, password Dynatrace@123. Okay, fine. Next, endpoint metadata. What you can mention? Anything you can mention there. Retail DB hyphen Postgres query interval debit default. Go next. I can give something like meaningful name, Postgres retail DB lab, something like that. So these are the KPIs. Okay. If you have database replication, you can use this. You have table space, table, whatever the KPI you want, you can enable and you can go and save it. See the configuration. So how you can check that whether it's so go to your health tab, run this fetch logs. Still not yet done. Goes to configuration. Wait for some times. It will take 10 minutes. Still nothing. Refresh it. Goes to health tab. Fetch logs. Nothing. Where?
Sir, is it true that if once you install one agent, automatically the database gets monitored?
Database.
Once you install one agent, the databases will
No.
get automatically monitored.
So when you install the one agent, right, database just process will get monitored. Now nothing is getting monitored because the not happened. So if you goes to the host page and you open this, you can see the process. There will be a one database process. That's it. There is a one. You see that, right? Postgres. That's it. If you go to the database page, do you see any database instance? No, right? You don't see any database instance. Why? Because a still plugin was not applied successfully. So I will goes to configure section. Now let's see why is the error. There is no error. So you see, successful first time whenever you do that, right? First time it will happen. You are failed to assign monitoring configuration active gate, okay? Because it will show cache and it will yet to download. So it is queue to download. Once it will get downloaded, then it will show successfully assigned. Okay. So don't hurry like okay, we got the error, failed to assign active gate. That is just a info. Okay. Then after that, assigned successfully, data source SQL data source created successfully. Still it will show as a red only. It will take time. So if you see right, still as a red only. Until unless complete endpoint was not data is not getting captured, that time till that time it will be a red only. So now we have just data source created. So now you see it became green. Okay. Means it will take first, then it will come warning, then it will come okay, something. So still you see info only, but here I can see something became in the graph in the green. Means it will come. You take some time. Just keep running the fetch log. That's it. Still it is saying fetch logs.
So this is same even for on-prem.
On-prem also has the same steps.
We are using
Now you
SaaS.
see, you are see health. Yeah, we are using SaaS. On-prem license you cannot get. Okay. Even I want to try for on-prem, I cannot get the license. Only when you are working in the company organization and you wanted to use on-prem for POC or something, for that you have you have to come via sales call, NDA has to be signed, non-disclosure agreement has to be signed, lot of document has to be shared. Then they'll give you the on-prem license, okay, for a month or something. And then you do the POC and then you convert into the license. So now the data is successful. Now user configurations are successful. Now if I'll go to the database page and run this, refresh it, I can see as a database. It is coming. Open the database running on this server. So database health score is 82%. You can see the KPIs. Service uptime 6.67%. Cache hit ratio 100%. These are the KPIs. If you go to the activity metrics, you see for summary, uptime, if you see background, these are the KPIs. If you go to the table level, these are the KPIs. Table space recovery. Is in the recovery? Yes. This KPI 0 state. So you'll get so okay. So these are the KPIs you have. Okay. So now, so you see this right? KPIs. So you can get many KPIs. Okay, what are the then database total? These are the connection, then transaction, rows return, right? And so these are the KPIs. This is your host metric. On the host side, what is the free disk space, CPU, disk read, disk write, disk read IOPS, disk write IOPS, network traffic. A statement, you will not have any statement by because we are not doing any something, okay? But database query, definitely you can find. We have a two database. If you go to the retail database, you can find the size, connection, transaction, row, everything. Okay. Now come out. Sorry. Calling service, you'll not have any calling service because it's not connected to any application. Configuration, you can see. So these are configurations. These are the metrics. You see this. Blocking activity, if there is any getting blocked, you can see in the logs. There is no anything is blocked, there is no logs, okay? And you can get some alerts if something goes down. If there is any alert, something goes down, so you'll get an alert, okay? Now, all the KPIs.
So what kind of metrics do we see here in the database?
See, this is a summary. So basically on the database, you want to see the database metrics. You go to the database, select the database, and then you see you are getting database size, connection, transaction, then row return, row read, row return. If there is in conflict, temp files, temporary files, temp files in byte, checksum failure, no data, deadlocks, all those things you are getting, okay? If there is a blockage, okay, if database getting blocked is something, then you will get in the blocking session, okay, blocking activity, okay? Then you have activity metrics, okay, which you have here, okay? Like summary, uptime, cache hit ratio, instance uptime, database size growth, okay? Then we have a background writer, which we have schedule, checkpoint, all those things, okay? Then we have a table
Metrics
space.
are most commonly used after doing extension, Ravi. Like
So basically, most commonly used is on this database side. If you go to the database and then you see the KPI, these are most commonly used. Connection, transaction, okay, then basically deadlock and blocking is too much. Two things: connection, transaction, size, and then we have deadlocks, and then we have a blocking. These are the best KPI. Then after that, custom KPIs. Custom KPI means suppose you are selling some product, okay, and then how many order has been failed. Definitely, whenever order is failed, right, it will go to the database. There is a table, it will create that, right? Total order fail is 4, 10, 20, right? Correct. So I can fetch that right from the database. Okay, today from this month, total 100 orders failed, something like that, right? So you can fetch that. So suppose you want to monitor some custom monitoring, which is your custom query monitoring, we used to call. Okay, any custom query you want to monitor, then what you have to do is, again, you have to install extension. You have to go to the hub. That is little tricky. Not like you go in the configuration file and again you do that. No, there is for another extension. Just to type custom extension creator. Okay, there is a custom database extension which is available in Classic. New UI, I'll recommend use this. This has a UI, this doesn't have this. Compared to this, this is very good. Okay, goes to custom extension creator, install it, open it. This again required environment activate. Okay, so once you installed, you need to create extension. So what kind of database? So this many database only support. Even it's support on the JMX level also is support, not only database. On the JMX, right? It also support on the SNMP level. If there is something you want to run, running some extension, you want to do WMI level, JDBC level, you want to run. There's a multiple way how you want to fetch. Okay, if there is no, then you can go with JDBC if the database is not listed here. So suppose I am going with Postgres. So suppose MongoDB is not there, how you can use? I'll go to the JDBC. I can use that, right? So I will go to Postgres. Custom name is custom Postgres. Okay, add. Okay. Now what I have to do? Edit your YAML file and Give your query. So let me do the AI to get the query. Let me get the query from the AI.
So this Postgres database is on Azure Linux server, right, sir?
No, Postgres database running on Windows server. Linux
Windows.
server. Linux server,
Linux.
not.
Yeah, that's what. It's on Linux only, right?
So I'm giving this. Control Z. So I'm giving name custom Postgres version. Okay. Name custom extension created app. Version you can give. Okay. Then group name failed order. How many order has been failed? Select count failed order from order. Then status failed and this. Okay. Key name is failed order means metric name. Okay. Now what I have to do? Once you do that, basically whenever suppose this query is not working, yeah, this YAML is not working. Next time you are modifying, version has to be upgraded. Okay. So I'll save it. It got saved successfully. You should be very careful when you are doing this custom work. Okay. Then you have to deploy. So deploy when you are doing the first time, you should go with the I don't have certificate, create a certificate. Create a certificate. Certificate name you can give Postgres. Okay. Something you can give. Credential name. Okay. Generate and download. Don't do these are this keep it as a by default only. Generate and download. Allow multiple files. Okay. Once you have done this, sign in and publish. Okay. It got published. Then what you have to do is, if you see, again, you click on the deploy, you open this. Okay. So there is a PEM key. Okay. I'll show you that. There is a ca dot PEM key. Okay. So what they are thinking is we have downloaded how many files? 3 files. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what they are telling in the document, ca.pem should upload in this file. Okay. Or if you are using Linux, if you are using Windows, then this path. Okay. So I'll goes to my server, which is that remote plugin, right? So this is my one agent. This is my activate. Okay. Instance AG2 public IP username, user, advanced setting, use private key. Windows space su cd/var/lib /dynatrace ls cd remote plugin module ls cd agent ls conf ls. We have a certificate. You see this? cd certificate ls. So here you have to upload. So pwd. Okay, so let's upload. Which one we need to upload? ca.pem key, right? Uploaded. Okay, let me copy this. This /home/ec2-user ls. We have cd mv file name ca.pem and continue. Okay, so I'm moving this file to this directory. Now ls-l and path. We have, this is fine. Now what else I have to do? So now I have moved this. Okay. Once you do that, doesn't mean that it started working. Again, you have to click here, monitor tab. Again, you have to use ActiveGate because we have not used ActiveGate, right? Add configuration. Select ActiveGate. Next, because we have to restart, right? So that is the reason. What is the IP address for Postgres? No, this is for EC2, right? I need Postgres. This is my IP address. Database name. What is the database name I kept? Retail DB, right? Okay. Username, Dynatrace. Password, Dynatrace@123. Hope Dynatrace spelling is correct. Retail DB is correct. Next. Just give Postgres custom query monitoring. Okay. Select the KPI already selected. We have one KPI. Failed orders. Save. Close. This is done. Now let's restart ActiveGate. Systemctl restart Dynatrace gateway dot service. Should I change the permission also? No, they have not talked about any permission, right? It's fine. Done. Check the status. Running. Now goes to here. Monitor section again. Health. Now you see failed to assign monitoring configuration to active gate. What it is telling? Monitoring will require active gate. Later support data source section belongs to group default. It's fine. We got the error. Now you see available in cache yet to download. Means it will get downloaded. Wait for a few minutes. Basically, people used to forget upload the this PEM key. I have when I was taking interview last week with one of the candidate. Okay, he told correct way how you can monitor your custom extension, but he was not able to explain when you deploy, right? Nobody used to go where. Here, nobody used to see this part. Okay, they used to create a certificate and they used to deploy. That's it. No, if this CAPM key is not available, it will say agent in this your agent is active gate will not get assigned. So people used to forget this part. Now you see still red. Database always will red. Now successful monitoring configuration to active gate. Wait for some times. Now data source created successfully. Wait for a few more minutes. After that, we'll change the one agent mode to full stack to infrastructure. And then we'll see. Now you see a status is getting changed now. Again from error to pending. Then warning, then green. Okay. Even I am doing a first time training on this new UI. Taking too much time in this custom monitoring. Still database source is created successfully. Now you think query doesn't work. Again, you have to do from the scratch. So now it got monitored. Now you see the health is okay. So now everything is green. Run this. Check whether endpoint got created, everything. Now see endpoint is monitoring is started. So now if I'll goes to my dashboard, the custom metric, right? Create a new dashboard. In Classic, we have something called Data Explorer. Anyone is aware of that? Sridhar, you might have aware of that, right? Data Explorer. Now in new UI, we don't have Data Explorer. We don't have metric tab also. Okay. So either you can fetch it in the notebook, you can fetch it in the dashboard for later analysis. Okay. So here only metric got added. Select, type here, failed order. You see, custom Postgres failed order. Run this. If I'm getting the data, means it is correct. When we ran the query, what was the value? Remember? 2000. Do you remember? Anyone? When in the data?
For success, yes, for success.
Yeah, when we ran this, right?
2000 and failed 2000 something.
8000 and 2000, right? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Here you see this. 8000 and 2000. Now what data you are getting here? 2000. Failed order. Right?
Yes.
So like this, you will get a requirement. Okay, how many order has been failed, how many sales has been done, how many payment has been failed, something like that, right? And they want to monitor this. Okay, so those kind of things. What you need is query from the database team. Like which query? That query will show you that 2000, right? That query you need to connect, login with the service account and run that query. Ensure that you should get output. After that, goes to that irrespective of database, you go to that, you select that YAML, and then with the help of AI or something, you can develop this YAML and do the YAML validation. Because suppose, example, I'll tell you, I'll show you the example. Now you understood that, right? I'll show you that. So now if I'll goes to my hub, you can find in the hub only. You see, now I'll open this. This is my YAML. Now, suppose any changes I wanted to do. This query which I wrote is a simple query, right? One line query, which is fine. Just for testing. Now I'm changing version to 3.1.2. What are things you should be remember? Okay. So I'm changing the version. Okay. Means YAML got changed. So first I have to save. Okay. Once save has been done, then you have to deploy. So now I should not go with the create certificate. Now already I have a certificate. I'll upload that. So choose certificate and I'll go to download. There's a developer.pem key you need to use. Because it's told you, right? Developer.pem key only you need to take. Okay. Sign in and publish. Got deployed. Now open this. So what is the version? 3.0.2. But extension, still you will be using here 3.0.1 only. If you see this, because if you have 3.0.2, what is this? Where you can see the extension, you see this. What is the version? Still 3.0.2 is not stored here. So what I have to do? Anyone has idea? You have to go to the monitoring configuration. You see that one dot symbol came?
So what is this active version? So
You have
in the
to
custom Postgres.
you have to upgrade, because you have modified that, right? Sometimes query doesn't work, right? Yeah, YAML doesn't work. You need to validate, right? So you see that it is not working, data is not coming. So you modified again, you deployed again, save again, deployed again with the developer.pem key, come to the extension, and again you have to upgrade. Once you do the upgrade, people don't do that, and then they should raise a support case. Okay, once you do the upgrade, now you see that, right? Dot gone. Go to the health. Now again run, fetch the logs. Again you see the data source got created success. Means now you fetch the logs, right? Wait for 1 minute. Goes to health. Fetch the logs. Refresh it. Means you have to upgrade. Okay. Then again it will start fetch the logs, everything. Then it will start fetching the data. Okay, so any changes you do, you have to save, you have to deploy with the PEM key, and then come to here, and then you have to, here will get an option. Right now you see there is no option, but again you will modify, you will get an option to upgrade. Now see, info error, again active get assigned, everything will happen from the scratch. You see, what is the version? 3.022, monitoring configuration updated. Now again active get will get assigned. Then again it will start fetching the endpoint. Is that clear? Any questions? Susil, I'll start from you only. Susil left.
Only one config file only we can able to upload, or
No, only
multiple.
one. So now suppose, okay, you want to see like how many YAML you want to upload. You can write here this way, right? You can write a 10 query, 20
Yeah.
query in one sort, and 20 KPI in one YAML. Okay?
Yeah.
And you can do that. You
That
can
means
create
only one YAML file we can write
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, you
But
can
we
create,
cannot have 2 or 3 YAMLs in the same.
you can create a group, something.
Okay.
Okay, add a new group, and then based on that you can select the data source, all those things, and you can do that. But the best practice is in the one YAML itself you deploy. Now second YAML, where I will go and deploy, you tell me. Okay, so second YAML where I'll go and deploy. Okay, so basically in the one YAML only you can write a 10 KPIs. Okay, so here we have one metric, right? You can see 10 metrics, 20 metrics, 30 metrics, and here this area will get increased.
Yeah.
Okay, now you understood?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's convert the Dynatrace one agent full stack mode to infra mode. Can we do it from UI?
Yes.
I'll back in 1 minute. Okay. I'm back. Now goes to deployment status. Select the one agent. Where you have options to change the one agent mode as you convert full stack to infra to full stack. Anyone?
Settings page.
Edit page.
From settings, we can able to enable.
Now you see that, right? That has extension also. So it is showing as extension here.
Okay.
Right. So there is extension we are using. So that is coming. Or setting. General. Generally a host monitoring.
Host monitoring. Host monitoring.
Still they have not classic only. You see this?
Yeah, these features still they are using.
Infrastructure. Save changes. What will happen is when you do that, right, automatically this itself, Dynatrace one agent will get restarted. Application restart, that is not happened. Only one agent will get restarted. So now you are using one agent infrastructure mode. If you goes to host coverage, info, still monitoring type is full stack. Refresh it. It takes time, 2 to 3 minutes to reflect. Now converted to infrastructure. Okay. Now let's see what are the difference we are getting. First case is coming. This is fine on the extension side. This is coming. I don't see any difference. Do you see any difference? One here, host metric network. Earlier, you have seen there was a database query was showing that gone. I don't see much difference.
This
Okay,
data is coming from the extension, right?
this data is coming from default extension.
So there won't be any difference.
I don't see any difference.
Yeah.
Only when application call to the database, okay, that time might be in the distribution traces used to show some queries, all those things. That there you see some difference, but other than that, I don't see any difference. Okay, I don't see that. So if you see open with topology, I don't see any difference where it is asking one agent should be in a full stack mode or something. I don't see that. If you go to the deployment status, you can find if required a full stack mode or something is not getting monitored, you can see here.
So the query will be shown in the from the dashboard as well. The dashboard you created earlier.
So you host monitoring, see host monitoring infrastructure only mode, process monitoring unavailable. You see now the configure monitoring, the process monitoring becomes unavailable. Application process. Now you understood why they are asking to add a full stack. Means your process was not getting monitored. Is that clear? Now you understood what is the difference?
Can we check which processors are added after full stack?
Okay, so now I'm not enabling right now. Let's go to the host page. Means your application process. You see, not analyze. You see this? Not no analysis possible. You may check. Okay, that is for this one. Vulnerability. But process also I can see the data. My process
Can you
also
see the dashboard query
which dashboard query?
you just created earlier in the dashboard?
Okay, custom, right?
Yeah, custom dashboard. So that one has the query to show the success and failure.
Okay. That is giving the data. Hmm. 916, 916, we have a data every 1 minute. It is fetching. So this is also giving data. But if you goes to the deployment status, because we have changed, right? They're telling process is not getting monitored. Data is coming. But if you open this, right? Post monitoring in infrastructure only. So process monitoring unavailable. You see this? Might be take some times, then it will become unavailable. You see this? So application process might becomes, if data is still showing, they are not monitoring, not getting monitored or alerting or whatever. Might be. That is the reason they are telling to install on the database server. If you want full visibility, then you need to install as a full stack mode. Now you see database query. So I think when application call to the database and when you have a full stack, then might database query, all those things, right? It will get visible.
We can run it in the server and try that now.
What I'm doing is wait. I'm going to deployment status and changing infra to full stack. Majorly, I don't see difference. Find some documentation, read some documentation. If you find something, put in the group chat where it is mentioned and what difference you have. Okay. It takes time. Now it is converted as a full stack. I don't see any difference. You guys also try. If you see any difference, let me know. I don't see any difference, guys. You guys also try. So basically, you can go with the infra mode also.
Maybe that is the reason in our last organization we were running all the database hosts on infra only.
I don't see any difference. Okay. Because I don't see any difference. Means you can have you can use infra only. There is no difference. Okay. But why it is telling when you are doing the infra process is not getting monitored? That's what, and the process data is coming because when you install infra mode, right? At least CPU, memory, disk, and process will come. Only service should not get visible. Right? You see that, right? So now everything is happening, right? So service only should not get visible. But I don't know why it was telling process is not being monitored because process should get monitored. Okay. But okay, just you try for any other DB like MongoDB. You guys can try. Okay. Yeah, try Postgres itself. Okay. All the commands you have here. Anything else you need? Guys, why I'm not giving you this command query? If you will give you that, right, it will, otherwise you do some R&D and then you watch the video and then do the setup with the help of AI, you can be able to achieve. Wherever you see I'm using query, right, you take the screenshot, give the information to AI. AI will give you that, convert to that query and then you use that, right? So that you'll learn more. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll difficult if you don't watch. Just you take like increase that like a ratio like a little higher side, and then you watch that so that you can complete in 1 hour wherever, right? But at least you 30 minutes, you half an hour, you watch what I am doing, all those things, and then you do the setup. And wherever I have taken that, you take the screenshot, upload in the UI, and chat GPT or whichever the UI you are using AI, and then you get the data, and then you use that. It will be easier for you to understand. Just you do it once, okay? You have invested money, everything, right? You do it once, it will help you a lot, and then you go for an interview. You can crack any interview for Dynatrace. Okay. So right now you have this many query, right? So you can take a screenshot, use this. Okay, if you say, then I can upload. I don't have any problems. I'll give you one configuration file, everything in one shot. Okay, whatever yours. Okay. So that's it for today. Any questions?